What up, boys? As you can see, I did a little tidying up in here. It looks a lot better. There's some stuff in the back we gotta throw out. But look how much room there is between the cars once I push this one all the way over the wall. Anyways, this is where I left you. We have one wastegate tacked up. We have still missing our flange, obviously. And then we'll tack up our other wastegate. But I dropped the ball on the price list. I didn't update it yet, so that's what I'm about to do right now before we start anything. And we'll get our new total before we start the video, and then anything throughout this video that we add, we'll add to our list and then make an updated one at the end again. So obviously my rating's not as good as Virginia's. These are the newest things I added that I remember we had. So we have the wastegates. They were $300 for two of them. They were the prototypes, that's why we got them at a good deal. The blow-off valve was $150. The turbos were $600 roughly Canadian. The T3 flanges were like $26 each, and then the V-band adapters from 4-bolt to V-band, $72. So I'm gonna add up the total now, and I'll fix that. And there's our new total. So we're just over $5,100 US, including the price of the car. And so far we have a pretty decent build going on here. There's a couple things that I know we already bought, like an intake manifold, fuel rails, and a transmission that I didn't add on there. So when we get it in, that's when I'll add it. I'm super soaked out my work area now. We do have a lot of clutter. We have a lot of parts that need to go back into cars is the problem. So there's that. But we're gonna get started on welding up this wastegate, and then we'll get the other one to mirror it after this one's welded up. Sometimes you just gotta make something from nothing. Our weldings get a lot better. Maybe if I can get some more lighting in this. Now, the attempt here is going to be to replicate roughly where this wastegate is on this side. It can't be perfect just because of how everything's going to be set up, but we can make it the best we can to make it look nice at least. Here's where it's gonna sit. This one's gonna sit up just a touch higher than this one, probably like half an inch higher, maybe 3/4 of an inch higher. yeah, it's not gonna be perfect, but I mean, it's our little budget build. And then just gotta weld up this elbow now. Well, it's probably time for an update. My arms are sore because I was using this little grinder here with a wheel on it, like a steel wheel. Cause I'm just cleaning up the manifolds a bit. It'd be nice to get them like sandblasted to make them completely clean, because you can't get in areas with the grinding thing, but I think this looks much better. I sanded down like a little, there was a bolt here that held on a heat shield, so I just ground that down, and we just ran the wire wheel over it a couple times to make it look nice. We did lose a lot of color in our spots because I did hit it with the wheel as well. And both of our wastegates are officially mounted as well. We're just waiting on that T3 flange. However, I can start on the downpipe on this side to go down back. I don't know where this is going to want to end up, but it's in the way currently. Oh yeah, also thank you guys for the number for the smaller power steering pulley. We're going to order that one. It's about 1.5 inches smaller diameter, and we only needed like 1/4 inch smaller to fit in there. So saves us a bunch from switching to different accessories. They might not be as pretty, but it's free. Well, it's not free, we already have it. So there's that. We got a water pump to put in, but there's plenty of space for everything in here. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. We added our little adapter piece and our Black Sheep Industries V-band clamp. So we're ready for our 3-inch tube. However, I only have 3 feet of 304 stainless stuff. So I can probably build like just to see where it's gonna go, like here. I'm out of breath a little bit, but that's because we got this in the mail, a new thing that we're probably not gonna mount either. But let's open it up real quick. Yeah, it says greater than 50 pounds, so I'm huffing and puffing. I bought this because, well, I didn't really know what to cut aluminum with. You could use a jigsaw, I guess, but I thought maybe I could make like catch cans and overflows and stuff with this thing. Of course, it's not assembled. Oh, this is heavy as my tubing bender. Now this is a shear that's supposed to be able to cut like 1/2 inch steel. So maybe, oh yeah, look at that. I got instructions here. So it says, well, no pictures. I'm only good with pictures. Yeah, 1/4 inch mild steel was what it cuts. And this piece goes on here too. Oh my God. Oh my God. That didn't work out as planned at all. I thought this was gonna go way better than this. Anyways, let's just see if it does anything while being anchored. Whoa! Now it works. However, it does bend it a little bit. That's not cool. Anyways, new toy. Alrighty, now that we're done playing with that, we're going to move on to our exhaust here. I'm going to try and push this straight out as far as I can towards this heater box and then make my turn down. The reason being is that it has to do that on that side in order to clear the steering rod, and I kind of want them to be the same since we have a ton of room anyways. So we're going to get our length here, and we're just pie cutting and welding back. So we'll get our length here, and then we'll start making 8-degree cuts in our pie cuts. So our first one's going to be about this long probably, and we'll start with our pie cuts right in this groove right here. The more you do this, the more I find that you're able to eyeball kind of what your bend's gonna look like before you make it. So if there's one thing you gotta do, it's stop pooping right now and get out to the garage and work on your damn car. And our first one's gonna be about 5.5 inches. And we're gonna use our bandsaw because it's really nice to use. It's already set up at an 8-degree angle on this end. Then we just give it the quick once over on our belt sander just to remove like the little burrs and stuff on it. And it's not bad to tack weld the first piece in place because you can just rotate the V-band around. But the next group of pie cuts we'll have to cut a group of them first before we tack them in place. Here's to hoping it still fits. And that's pretty much exactly where I wanted it. You can see there's tons of room on this side to go down there. I'll get a light. Yeah, lots of room down there to go on this side. And then you can see why I went that far back on that side. It's because we have to go down behind this steering shaft right here, down around that, so it's going to be down and down through there. So we're going to have to make some custom brake lines to go down like under the booster somewhere, and they should probably be replaced anyways. Still no T3 flange! I like the fact that you can actually cheat a little bit with pie cuts. So if, like, just say this isn't exactly the angle like you worked out your maths, you can just kind of rotate some of these and they kind of make a little bit of waviness. You can't know unless you're really looking at it, and then you can just like clock it ever so slightly, all of these, until you get it to go down perfectly where you want it to go. Guys, one benefit over using like a radius bend just by pie cutting. Now, there is a lot more welding involved with this and a lot more argon, but it's gonna turn out pretty good, I think. Now we've got some time to kill, and I don't have that other T3 flange, so I can't really do anything there. And I don't have any dump tubes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna steal the intercooler off the Mustang. I know that's a 4-inch core with roughly like 31-inch end tanks on it. So we're gonna steal that for mock-up, maybe even use it. It's just a generic intercooler, it'd be easy to replace. And sorry Mustang. Like this thing's ready to go. I have to do a little bit of wiring to it, but it's kind of just pushed off to the side until spring anyways. I lost a lot of motivation with this car because it was taking so long and I just wanted to redo it and I just wanted to relearn things. When I started fabricating this car, you guys remember like my welds were really, really shitty. Like these were some of my original welds in here. And this is a car that I learned to weld when I got my TIG welder. So we went from learning a whole bunch on this to being able to put it in a practical application like this. That's why you see me redo a lot of the progress on this Mustang, and I wasn't satisfied because I knew I could do better and I kept learning. And that's why it kind of took so long. I wasn't really focused on getting it out and driving it as much as I was learning to be better. So long story short, we're gonna steal the intercooler off this now and see how it fits in this thing, and maybe we can do something with it. What was that? There goes a 10 mil, but what was that, like 3 minutes to go? Okay, have a quick look-ski at this. How well this fits in here. Just like that. And then a radiator can fit right in front of that. Oh man, I think he might be getting this intercooler. So maybe we'll take that radiator too. Now before you guys give me shit for taking parts off this car, you gotta understand that Tokyo's like one of my best friends, and I would pretty much give anything of mine to help him out because he's helped me out so much. He's helped not just me, everybody else out. To do anything for anybody. And if there's one person who deserves this car, it's gonna be him. So if it means losing my radiator setup to just have to upgrade my radiator and intercooler setup, then so be it. And I hope he enjoys it, man, because like emotionally, like I can't explain it, but he deserves it. Like really, really deserves it. If you guys go back to the beginning of my channel when I had like 1,000 subscribers, you'll notice that every track event that I went at and Tokyo was available, he was there with me. We gotta do it, man. Yeah, let's see if we can make this radiator fit. And all the way up here would fit. So we just have it set up roughly here. There is a piece of styrofoam down there that the radiator is sitting on, but it's gonna sit a lot lower than this. But that's kind of my idea right here. We'll just weld two like cast 90 degrees on here. We'll cut this flush, weld some aluminum 90s on them so they stick out like right there perfectly here. And then same thing on this side. And we'll just go, we'll like cross one turbo over to the other, join them up, and then jam them into 190. And then the second 90 will either come out this side or this side, and then up to the intake right there. But I think, like fitment wise, this is gonna look a lot better in this car than it did in my car. If we can get this to fit right now. The savior! The flange!
Came in the mail today.
Okay, throw it on there.
I wouldn't do that.
Sad. Savior. So it's just temp mocked up until we can make some more brackets to hold it in place. It's gonna fit like this. These end tanks are gonna have to get cut off right here, and some 3-inch like cast elbows put in here. Might have to do a little bit of denting. And then like this turbo is probably gonna go into here and it'll Y down, and that turbo will come across and go into here as well, and then out that side to the intake. But it fits in there pretty good. And then it's just to mock up the radiator too. All right, we got our T4 flange just tacked up here. I need to take it off and fully finish weld it. This turbo sits about 1/2 inch lower than that turbo is. That's okay though. This wastegate actually sits like 1/2 inch higher than that one. So we're a bit wavy on our measurements, but that's because we were using what we had for manifolds. You can see that it's just tack welded up here on the top part. And we have our downpipe made on that side, so we're gonna try and match it on this side. I need to get another V-band flange. I don't have one here. Speaking of which, this turbo kind of looks a bit tilty. Maybe I'll break that weld and tilt it down a bit. I can't tell. I'll do some more looking at it. Anyways, that's all we have time for today. Make sure you like the video. Also, someone already built my mini truck. I seen it. Someone put a K-series in the back of a mini truck. That was my idea. I already have the mini truck. I already have the RSX. I was gonna do it. Still gonna do it, but I'm gonna put twin turbos on it. So, whatever. Peace easy. Get that V.